Hello. Sorry, I'm like 2 minutes late. Meant to go on at 7, but here I am. So I'll give it a minute for anybody interested. If you've got nothing else to do, come hang out with me for a minute. Two viewers. All right. Hey, Michelle. So I wanted to wait until after the live in the thrift shop. So, wouldn't miss anything. Especially you. Glad you're here. How was it? Did you buy anything? I need to get on Whatnot. I'll admit I haven't done that. And I probably won't until I finish with all these little projects I'm doing. Because if I get involved in that too, it's going to make my head explode. Hi, Gloria. Thanks for joining me. I'm not going to keep you long because I haven't fed my dogs yet. And they are starting to talk about it. So I do want to move, or I am going to turn on my personal Patreon because I also want to do this drawing that I completely forgot to do for everybody that's on my Patreon. So if you don't know, I have a separate Patreon that goes a little bit deeper into the stories, into my personal involvement in the rescues. And as everybody knows, I started this rescue, and I do most of the rescue, and I do really try to give my team as much opportunity as possible to do the rescues, but I got to be selfish a little bit. So I most recently drove around the East Coast, and I hugged 37 of my Huskies that are in their forever homes. So I was able to check in on everybody, just say hi to the families, just remind everybody that I'm there, that we are there if they need anything. It was really great to see everybody, and it's always good to, especially the ones that haven't seen me yet, it's good to see them because they get nervous when I'm there, for the first time, like they think that I'm going to take them back, or, so a lot of times we can get that nerve out of the way, and the next time I go see them, I get that happy experience that I'd like to post and show you guys. So if you want to see all those experiences, then hop on over to my Patreon. As you guys know, the main team, Melissa, Mike, Carter, myself, Rob, we don't get paid from H3. So we try to use our social media. We're trying to grow our social media so that way we don't have to go get jobs, right? Because if we have to go get jobs, we're not going to have time to rescue. So, there's no time. This place needs us full time, but we need to keep the load off the Huskies, like what we did today with, just fundraising for Theo and getting his surgery done today. Like Melissa and I were literally, okay, so let's reschedule this because we don't have $6,000 in the bank. Like the hospital required that up front. So then we're like, okay, let's scrounge everything together. What do we got in PayPal? What do we got in Venmo? What do we got in this account? And we put it all together, and we were able to get his surgery done, but that wiped us out. But regardless, it seems to be kind of the way social media and rescue goes. You get an emergency and everybody steps up, which is great. It's just really hard to fund a big, massive operation on begging for donations. So, what we've done is we've reduced our overhead by a mass amount by dropping our salaries, and now we're working to do other things that don't put a load on the Huskies themselves, and also don't put a legal risk on the Huskies themselves. So, the more we can separate things that have nothing to do with their care, their direct care is going to keep liability and all that off of them. So that's what I've been trying to do is separate everything, so that way the Huskies have got their bubble. Anyway, with us not having salary, we've starting the thrift shop, and the thrift shop it's the Huskies. It'll go to the Huskies, but we'll evolve it into a gift shop and retail. And, as we evolve, the dogs are outside and they're just looking at something. So as it evolves, it will grow into sources of income that will just continue to take the load off the Huskies. So the goal is that the Huskies pay for nothing except their medical. Okay, so if I can sell enough coffee, guys, if I can sell enough coffee and we can sell enough shirts and we can, get you guys to come and and listen to our stories on Patreon and our social media, TikTok and things like that, then we can, focus any money that comes in to the rescue directly on the dogs instead of the facility. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a facility and having overhead and things. We just want to do it a little bit different. And that's why we've been forming Husky Park. And Husky Park is the community center that will house all the things that we want to do for the Huskies. And let's be real, the Huskies there's such a bigger picture. We've got it, it's not just pulling a dog out of the shelter and boom, he's saved, right? We've got to care for them, and then we've got to find them homes. So we need to find ways to find them homes, right? That's the end result. That's the end of the rescue, right? Or kind of. That's where we need to be, is find them homes. And the reality is that social media and the websites and all that, it's just not working. We need to do more, especially if we want to give them a place like this. Now, I could rattle on, and we could do that someday, but I don't want to keep up taking more of your time. Just understand that, we are working towards creating other sources of income that don't involve us having to beg for donations on Facebook to cover, the rents and the utilities. And getting Husky Park going, we'll take care of all that. We'll pay all those bills, and Husky won't have to pay anything except their Annabelle. Got to pay their Annabelle. And their Star, because Star keeps their building so clean. Like that's a full-time job. They need to get paid for those. So those hands that go directly on them every single, Annabelle has a rule every day. One of them has to touch every single ear on the property. There's a couple of them you can't touch, like Lightning, but every single ear. So we need those people full-time there to make sure we do that. So we want to make sure that the money that's coming into Husky Halfway House is going to those direct hands and their medical and their dog park and, things that make them comfortable. Like I have, I want their kennel, the rooms in their building to have their own bed, custom built beds and things like that. So we can put those funds towards stuff like that. I'd also, if you don't know this because we don't publicize it, but we cover all of the spay and neuter for the community here in Eufaula. So all of it. So anybody that needs us to cover their spay and neuter from the pound, if you adopt a dog from the Eufaula pound, we cover the spay and neuter. We also get the shots. We do the whole thing. We've got 3 vets here that are local. So, we want to be able to fund things like that. And then, I got a message 2 days ago from somebody in Oklahoma, but it's not Eufaula, and we've been broke. We've been broke. I haven't been able to just say yes. And unfortunately, I had to say no that time. I don't want to have to be able to do that. If somebody needs our help, this lady was on disability. If somebody needs our help, let's just help the dog because, in the end, that's going to save because they're not going to end up in rescue, right? So let's just do what we can to help the families. So anyway, I'm going to put my eyes a little bit on the comments. I'm going to also draw for the Husky Hugs Across America raffle. I've got a couple of, I did use the right phone. A couple of raffles to do, and one of them is also for my Patreon. So I'll do that real quick, and then I'm going to go over a couple of things, and then I'm going to let you get back to your night. So, when you hear us talk about Husky Park, that is the sustainable sources of income that we are working to build. So just so everybody knows. And one of those things is, if anybody that knows has been following me since I started this rescue, it was always about a dog park cafe. I wanted to build a coffee shop. I took out a massive loan to build a vet clinic, but also a coffee shop. I want to build a dog park cafe. I've always wanted to do that. And I still haven't done that because I've been too busy rescuing. So that's the next goal. And it's been great because the rescue has given us, given me an avenue to brand products and things in a way that would, raise so much awareness around the entire country, if not the world. So it's been a really, really great opportunity to be forced into building a rescue first before I got my dog park cafe. So I'm going to get my dog park cafe someday, but first, we've got to build it. And, the purpose of the dog park cafe has always been about, well, since I started the rescue, has been about bringing people to us to adopt, right? Well, I live in a town of 3,000 people. So my dog park cafe was not going to bring my adopters, right? Because Eufaula is not the place for Huskies, and neither is Oklahoma. I need them in other states. And so they needed to be out of here. So when my son started racing USA BMX, and I discovered what type of program it was, that it was a nationwide membership-based organized sport that is already branded, umbrella, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is brilliant. Okay, so I can do my dog park cafe, and then USA BMX will actually bring people, like we'll bring thousands and thousands and thousands of people to our property to raise awareness and see these dogs. And you know what? They're going to need coffee. And they're going to need dog treats because we've got cabins for them to stay in, and they're going to be able to bring their pets. Like, Husky Park is meant to be a community center that's, dog friendly, but also meant to raise awareness to rescue. All roads lead to the rescue. And if you've been following along to the Husky Park thing, and I've got a website and the whole thing, you can check it out. Then you know that everything that's going to be done here on this property is meant to serve the rescue. So, yesterday somebody unfollowed us because Kyle, he unfollowed us because we started a coffee company, and apparently that meant we're not rescuing, but we're going for personal wealth. So Kyle had to go, of course, obviously, but it just reminded me that there's this lack of understanding between, the mission that we're on with the rescue and how we need to actually run it like a business. As much as we can't put the suit and tie and be all professional, but in the end, it is still a business. It is still a organization that is registered to the state, to the federal, there's laws and governed by a board of directors and the works. So anyway, let me quit rambling. Guys, if you didn't know, we started our coffee company. So, but the cool thing about the coffee company is, and if can you guys, oh, awesome. Thank you for putting the links in there, guys. The cool thing about the coffee company is every single product is going to have art by Cameo Anderson. It is going to be a real dog, with a real rescue story. And I'm building the website. I'm starting with Micah. She was my first one. Micah is the first dog that I fostered when I came to Oklahoma to start the rescue. Because when I started the rescue, I didn't know anything about rescue. So I'm like, okay, let me foster. So let me just try to work with other rescues and see how it goes, right? So I fostered. She was the first dog I rescued. And of course, I failed. I was the classic foster fail. When the rescue called and said, hey, Micah's going to be going on this transport. We'll pick her up on this day. I was like, what? Wait a minute. Wait, no. Micah's not going anywhere. Micah's staying with me. So she's my forever girl. I adopted her from that rescue here locally. And then, so she made number 4 for me. And then over the course of the past 7 years, we've adopted 2 more, and we actually lost 1. So my first series of coffee, the Founder series, will be all of my dogs, including 3 of them that were rescued after I started the rescue. 2 of them that I bought on Craigslist from a backyard breeder. Those are the 2 founding Huskies. And then my first husky that I adopted, Neo, which is the face of Husky Halfway House. Do I not have a logo? Oh, here we go. Neo, this guy, you've seen this logo. This is actually him. So, you know, just kind of creating a founder's blend. And, you know, there's a medium, a dark, a light, and a decaf. And I added the decaf this morning, and it is cute as heck. It's called Lotus Rising. You've got to check it out. So, if anything, just go onto the website and play with them. The website lets you interact with each of them, so you can actually grab the box and like move it around, and each of them's a story, and there's tubes in there too. So I'm starting a couple of a series of instants. And the art, again, all this is art by Cameo Anderson. So even if you don't drink coffee, buy it for, you know, collect it for the art itself. Just to have Cameo art on it is, you know, this is not AI, guys. This is Cameo. She draws this with her hands and her one eye, right? So, you know, she's flipping amazing and deserves her own coffee line. I love you, Cameo. So anyway, coffee. Also, so Pitsky Brew Co. You know, as I grow the actual entities, I will break these off into different organizations that will have its own liability and its own accounting and things like that. So, but for now, we're just brand building. So, Pitsky Brew Co. is run under Pitsky Park. So if you order through the system, it will say Pitsky Park or Pitsky Brew. So something on your bill versus Husky Halfway House. So you're just going to have to trust that Jenni D, the founder of Husky Halfway House, is going to make sure that the money that we earn on this goes to these Huskies. And, you know, really all you got to do, if you have any doubts at all, is come and see for yourself. Because you can literally physically see and touch everything that I put this money into. So, oh really? So my dogs are hungry and they're going to start to get very loud. Okay, so anyway, we've also started the Pitsky Treat Company. So Pitsky Treat Co's happening. In fact, I've found a manufacturer that I like, that I've tried these treats before. There's a couple other places and companies. Hi, Dusty. There's a couple other places and companies that have that use the same manufacturer, these treats. So obviously we are not making our own treats yet. We will be able to do that someday. But first I have to certify a kitchen with my ag department and the DEQ, the health department. There's a lot of steps to be able to make our own treats. So for now, I'm going to have somebody make them for us as we brand and get, you know, familiar with commerce for a cause. Okay? So we'll have all kinds of treats. We've already got them going. I'm working on the labels. Guys, I'm working on the labels that have to be submitted to the ag department for approval before we can put them out. All right. My dogs are not going to let this... Here, give you a little... It's my foster dogs. They're very hungry, and they're starting to scream at me. Neo, come here. Neo! They're all old. These guys are all old. Come here, Neo. So that's Neo. Come here, handsome. Yep, Rusty. Are you ready for dinner? Yeah, he's a silly boy. All right. Back to business. Let's go ahead and get this raffle done. Now, this is for the Husky Hugs across America. I think we made like, I don't know, maybe $2,500. I really appreciate that. That covered all the gas and covered this whole thing. And you get, so give me a second. So this cute, I think Tanya's the one that sent us this cute as heck Lego. It's not Lego. It's a different brand, but you get this guy. And then I found these during my travels, the Love's Travel Stop Lego set. So got one for myself. And then you also get my books and a t-shirt, and I'm just going to send you a whole package, and I'll probably throw some coffee in there too. So you're going to get something awesome, whoever wins this. And then if you are not on my Patreon, go over there, because I am going to draw it is not a raffle. It is not a raffle. It is a sweepstakes, and anybody could have entered this. And everybody that is on my Patreon, whether you're free or you're paying, got a ticket. And anybody that pays for the subscription helps me feed my human kids, because I have 2 of them, got a ticket for every $5 that you're helping me out per month. So if you're subscribing for $5, you got 2 tickets. If you're subscribing for 10, you got 3. 25, you got the picture, right? So that's an entire set of my books and a t-shirt. Again, I'm just going to send you a whole Husky package. So hurry up on over to Patreon, because I've already listed, I can pull a report for each month that it's done. So I've got March in there. I'm going to draw for March. And then I want to do it again for April. So get over there, sign up. And while I'm busy talking myself up, guys, all of our other team members have Patreons too. And none of them's getting paid. Like, they all need, everybody's support to keep them doing what they're doing. Like, Carter went on a rescue ride, and she was in there on her Patreon doing pup cups and chicken nuggets. And you want to see those stories, right? So hop on over there, and most of it's free. So even if you if you can afford the extra $5, give her $5, because the girl works literally full time here for these dogs for free. So, she'll tell you some stories. In exchange, you help her, keep herself with toothpaste and doing things, and right, So we need some support like that. Anyway, let's do it. I'm going to draw. There were 454 tickets. So I'd already entered it. And this is the Husky Hugs. So, sorry, you probably didn't see that. But I've got 454. And here we go. So, number 279. Now, I think Tracy's on, so she'll be able to tell you who 279 is. Whoever 279 is, let me know. She will send me your address, answer your email, and I'll send you a package. You'll love it. You'll have some fun. All right, I'm going to let you guys go. Really appreciate your support. I'm going to turn my Patreon on now. I haven't turned it on yet. I was going to, but got distracted with Facebook. Anyway. Going to turn it on, head over there, and let's talk a little bit more, and let's draw the sweepstakes for my favorite patron. All right, guys. I need to hug a husky. This is Rusty. Yes, he would bite my face. But he's just very talkative. Don't let this scare you. He's got a very strong language. But yes, he bites. Don't you? I love you. Mwah. He's hungry too. All right, guys. Hug your huskies for me.